Thank you, Mark. Good evening once again. It remains to be seen if football is coming home, but those still standing at Euro 2020 have converged on one of football's spiritual homes to finish off a tournament which has been delayed and ill-conceived in parts, but has produced plenty of good memories and a set of a finish which could be talked about for generations. The home straight begins with a heavyweight meeting between two nations who don't have to lament years of hurt. Italy and Spain have had the odd bump in the road in recent times, but they consistently challenge and they have a roll of honour very few can match. The Spanish may be in transition, but they are still here, while the Italians have been the class act of the field so far, and this could be a real classic. A reminder of the two sides once again. One change for Italy from their quarter-final win over Belgium. Spinazzola, of course, picked up that nasty Achilles injury in the second half of that game, so Emerson of Chelsea comes back into the starting lineup. Donnarumma is in goal. Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Chiellini and Emerson the back four. Barella, Jorginho and Verratti in midfield, with Chiesa, Immobile and Insigne in attack. Three changes for Spain. The most eye-catching one is the decision to leave Alvaro Morata on the bench. Dani Olmo will start in the attacking line along with Mikel Oyarzabal alongside Ferran Torres of Manchester City, and at the back Eric Garcia, who is leaving Manchester City for Barcelona. He returns replacing Pau Torres. It is Simon in goal, Azpilicueta, Laporte, Garcia and Jordi Alba the back four, Koke, Busquets and Pedri in midfield, with Ferran Torres, Olmo, Oyarzabal in attack. Spain in all white will get the game underway. Italy in blue shirts with darker blue shorts and socks. So much colour, so much noise around Wembley. Tomorrow TalkSport will have blanket coverage building up to England's semi-final against Denmark from breakfast all the way through until kick-off. But tonight we will discover the first finalists from two huge footballing nations, Italy or Spain. And Stuart Pearce, this should be a titanic struggle.
I think you're right there, Nigel. I can see it being a very open game. Obviously, years gone by, you would say it would be a very tight tactical approach, but modern football nowadays seems to be so wide open, and it seems to be a basketball game from end to end, and I don't see any difference tonight.
Felix Brisch of Germany has given a free kick to Spain. Inside the opening 30 seconds, a challenge by Verratti. And Verratti was quick to contest the decision, but Spain, who are attacking from left to right in the first half, as we look out from our commentary position opposite the technical areas here at Wembley. Spain defending the western end of the stadium in the first half, which has thousands and thousands of their fans behind them, and it's a similar story for Italy at the end to our right as they give the ball away in the central area. And there's an opportunity for Spain to try and build on this near side. Azpilicueta's ball forward, but it's momentarily miscontrolled by Oyarzabal, and it's worked back towards Donnarumma, the Italian goalkeeper, wearing all yellow, defending the goal away to our right-hand side. 90 seconds played on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, live from Wembley. The first semi-final of UEFA Euro 2020. Of course, it is England against Denmark tomorrow, but tonight it is 0-0 between Italy and Spain in the early stages. As a high ball is played for by Eric Garcia, wide to the far side, tidied up very easily by Bonucci.
The Spanish not shy in going from back to front as quickly as they possibly can. The Italians good shape on the press. They're looking for that loose pass to turn it over and off on the counter-attack if they can in the mid-third.
Di Lorenzo plays it down the line far side there right, but the ball just dribbling out of play. And in fact, the free kick has been given. It was a very late challenge on Bonucci from Olmo, and I'm sure Bonucci will have recorded that in his little black book. 2.5 minutes played at Wembley, 0-0. Gianluigi Donnarumma, who is out of contract at Milan and heading to Paris Saint-Germain following this tournament, clears downfield with the free kick. It's quickly chested off into the path of Immobile and wide to this near side. Early ball forward into the penalty area. An excellent run is made forward. The goalkeeper has sold himself. Now an opportunity for Italy to strike. Oh, and it's hit the far post. It was a wonderful shot from Barella, popping up on the left-hand side. The flag has been raised for offside. It wouldn't have counted, but Barella there, who scored such a wonderful goal in the quarter-final, almost replicated it there.
Well, once again, it's ludicrous law change in the game. It was a mile offside, and whilst the excitement builds around the terraces, Nige, you and I knew full well that potentially he's a yard, 2 yards offside clear.
Now Unai Simon, the Spanish goalkeeper, looking to play up from the back, but once again there is a very high Italian press which the Spanish try and work their way through, but they've given the ball away. Bonucci quickly forward towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's tidied up well by Laporte and worked back towards Simon again, but his hurried clearance, left-footed, straight out of play on the far side, almost into the Spanish technical area where Luis Enrique is already looking to micromanage, and it will be a throw into Italy on the far side. 4 minutes played, breathless start here at Wembley, 0-0 between Italy and Spain as Italy look to build again. Barella with a clever ball into the penalty area, but once again the flag is raised, this time against Immobile on the right, and Spain will have the free kick.
Yeah, can't quite understand why the linesman's decided to flag so quickly on that instance, but the last instance let it roll for about 3 or 4 passes. Don't understand that at all. The Italians looking at their shape, looking to press, tempting the Spaniards to play out, and the Spaniards have got to make sure that they're foot perfect with their passing, because the Italians will turn over and can play through you.
Chiesa now with a dart down the centre. He was found by Chiellini, but Spain quickly turned the ball over, and they will look to attack themselves now with Ferran Torres, but the ball into the penalty area was a poor one beyond Laporte, and it's shepherded behind by Bonucci, and it will be a goal kick to Italy, but it is frenetic, isn't it?
It certainly is. The Italians have impressed me in these early moments. The Spanish are looking to hurt and go beyond and to the heart of the Italians when they can, but it's the Italian shape and how they press that's impressing you. They'll turn the ball over, and they're very clinical in playing through the thirds.
Immobile tries to cushion off a ball forward from Emerson into the path of Insigne on this near side, the left, but Spain quickly win the ball back, and it's laid wide to Azpilicueta, who has had so many Wembley days with Chelsea domestically, and now wide on the far side. Jordi Alba, who of course scored his first goal for Spain in the 2012 final against Italy when Spain demolished them by 4 goals to 0. He plays it forward looking for the run of Ferran Torres, and now Ferran Torres has found him once again, and it's almost played back by Jordi Alba into the penalty area towards the Manchester City youngster, but Italy quickly have bodies round the ball, and they will try and build themselves now with Chiesa on the far side, the right, but at the moment both sides are, I wouldn't say trying too hard, but it's all too quick. They're all trying to make that early ball and make that very quick incursion into opposition territory as Busquets looks to bring some order and calm to proceedings for Spain. Plays it back to Laporte. Now it's into the feet of Olmo, but once again Italy are never giving Spain a moment to breathe, and the back pass quickly played back there by Eric Garcia was closed down by Insigne, and Italy look to win it back with Verratti on this near side, but Azpilicueta under pressure from Verratti. The challenge comes in from the Italian midfielder. As a result, Azpilicueta's clearance was skied high into the sky, and on this near side Oyarzabal, he is unable to keep the ball in play, and Italy will have a throw-in on this near side with 7 minutes played on TalkSport, 0-0 at Wembley.
Yeah, you mentioned there that it's been quick, incisive play, no one's settled on the ball, and I think some of that, Nige, is down to the standard of pressing. The Spanish know that they're going to get pressed very, very quickly. They've got to play through the thirds quickly. You can't take too much time on the ball. Same can be said of the Italians as well. The Spanish are looking to try and do that to them, but the Italians look slightly better at it.
Azpilicueta plays it infield towards the edge of the Spanish penalty area, and it's now spread wide by Koke, and a good ball as well, wide towards the far side, and Jordi Alba down the line quickly looking for Ferran Torres. Dani Olmo is occupying the central striking role at the moment in the absence of Alvaro Morata. And Eric Garcia again, he's looking for Busquets every time he looks up around the edge of the Spanish penalty area, but he's quickly closed down by either Insigne or Immobile, and those balls are not really finding the Spanish playmaker. But here is Oyarzabal on this near side. It's a good ball as well to find Busquets, 25 yards out. Now Pedri, who has been quiet in the game so far, a low cross in from the left-hand side, and it's swept away by Bonucci high up towards the halfway line, and Italy will clear. 8.5 minutes play. Goalless here at Wembley on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport. England against Denmark coming up tomorrow, and our coverage will begin in breakfast with Laura Woods, Ali McCoist and Andros Townsend at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And of course, it is all building up to an 8 o'clock kickoff here. Stuart will be part of our team alongside Jim Proudfoot and Sol Campbell on commentary for that one. Oyarzabal wide towards Azpilicueta on this near side, the Spanish right. Now Laporte, who of course has already scored a winning goal here at Wembley this season for Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. The ball down the line though doesn't find Pedri, but Spain working hard to win the ball back, and just for a moment Italy were uncertain around their own penalty area. Here is Busquets. Now Koke, and it's very important for Spain that those two play well. Koke's ball wide to this near side is deflected, loops high into the path of Azpilicueta, and now Koke again will find Busquets, and Koke on the edge of the penalty area plays it wide towards Oyarzabal. He can come infield onto his left foot, but the low cross is blocked at the near post by Verratti, and it will be a throw into Spain on this near side.
Well, one thing's for sure, Nigel, even watching this game and the tempo of it, the two teams playing tomorrow evening will know what standard they've got to play at, both in and out of possession. Same applies with the victor tonight. It's the one who handles the ball the quickest, moves the ball the quickest, and doesn't get caught on it to offer the opposition a chance to counter.
Now Busquets has released Azpilicueta down the Spanish right-hand side. Oyarzabal once again has support from Koke. And Spain just beginning to settle with 10 minutes played here at Wembley. 0-0. Now Pedri, the teenager who has impressed so many, on the left corner of the Italian penalty area, but there was no real route to goal there for Jordi Alba, so Spain will head back and try again. Here is Eric Garcia finding Azpilicueta, who scored his first goal for Spain earlier on in the tournament against Croatia, but Italy is so good at closing down all of the avenues of opportunity around the penalty area, so Spain at the moment are finding themselves in a real game of patience when they do have the ball in attacking areas. Here is Azpilicueta again finding Oyarzabal, and it's a good ball in field to Olmo, who is able to ride the challenge of Jorginho, and Pedri plays it wide to the far side, and Jordi Alba, the early ball down the left looking for Ferran Torres, but once again Italy get numbers around the ball and they have a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, Spain have just overrun that sort of early good start from the Italians, just got a bit more possession of the game. I'd like to see the Spanish try and stretch the two centre halves of Italy long behind. They're coming short, so it's Olmo in the main coming short a little bit, trying to link play. Someone needs to go in and stretch them just to create a little bit more space.
Now Pedri makes a turn on the edge of the penalty. Lovely ball through to Oyarzabal, who seemed to be onside, but he was unable to control around the penalty spot, and Italy escaped. Well, you can hear the noise from the Spanish fans away to our left. They've taken encouragement from that, because one pass there bypassed both Chiellini and Bonucci, and Oyarzabal, with better control, would have had a free shot at goal 12 yards out. Now Azpilicueta once again. Infield towards Eric Garcia. And Spain there just showing a flash of quality which could give them so much encouragement. Now Azpilicueta once again. Back to Koke, 12 minutes played, 0-0, but Spain enjoying a very good spell here in the first semi-final at Wembley. Now Pedri, involved with Busquets. Olmo looking to turn down the left-hand side, almost goes beyond the challenge of Di Lorenzo, looks to win a corner, and a goal kick has been given in the end, but Stuart Pearce, what about that challenge for Oyarzabal?
Well, the game is being played, Nige, at such an intense pace. This is top quality international football that we're privy to see here. It's just incredible. You know, on the pitch now, even at the start of this game, you have got to move that ball quickly, deal with it. The passing's immaculate by both teams, I've got to say.
Oyarzabal was onside there. What an opportunity found by Pedri. And his first touch betrayed him.
I think because the ball was so slick and had to be so slick to break the lines, Nige, that probably caused him one or two control problems. You know, if it wasn't for the ball being so quick, then it doesn't break the line.
Dry sunlit evening here now at Wembley after several hours of heavy rain earlier on, and a number of the fans making their way into the stadium will have been given a real soaking as Italy have given the ball away in a dangerous area, with a low shot driven from the edge of the penalty area by Ferran Torres is a couple of yards wide. It was Verratti there who had his pocket picked in midfield, but Ferran Torres unable to make the most of it.
Well, any thoughts, Nigel, about this being a cagey affair has gone out the window, that is for sure. It's a fantastic game of football, played such a high tempo.
And Spain have got to play like this, Stuart, to have any real chance. If they sit in, Italy will pick them off.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Now Emerson, back towards Chiellini, who just takes a second to get his feet in order. But here is Emerson again, standing in for Spinazzola, who was one of the players of the tournament before his very nasty injury against Belgium. A long ball is played over the top by Bonucci, looking for Chiesa, but it's overhit and it's into the arms of Unai Simon once again. And it's been a fascinating opening 15 minutes here on TalkSport. 0-0. Lovely touch from Olmo to bring Pedri into the game, and it's wide to the left hand side now, and Ferran Torres, and Spain come forward again now with Jordi Alba. Plays the 1-2 of Ferran Torres, and Jordi Alba was in behind Di Lorenzo there down the Spanish left-hand side, but the return ball to him was just slightly overhit, and it's behind for an Italian goal kick.
I've got to say, Nige, the link play of Olmo so far has been really good. He's just coming off probably 10 yards from the central defenders, asking a question: are you coming with me or are you not? If you're not, I'm going to link play and then threaten to get on the secondary to go in behind you. And he looks at present the one most likely to open things up for Spain.
Chiellini with a long early ball forward, but it's headed away by Eric Garcia. And now Busquets finding Laporte. Both these sides former winners of the European Championship. Well, you have to go back to 1968 for Italy's sole success. Spain, of course, with 3 titles, including back-to-back in 2008 and 2012, before Italy ended their run with a victory in the round of 16 in Paris 5 years ago. As Italy have won a free kick now, Barella doing well to slide in and win the ball from Busquets midway inside the Spanish half, and then just a hand on the shoulder from Busquets, which was enough to send Barella crumpling to the turf, and Italy have a free kick.
Once again, if you're going to play out, and I wouldn't say they took chances, but the Italians are on you. They're very well organised, the shape's very good, and they're looking to press. On that occasion it was a turnover, and Busquets in the modern day game is probably very fortunate not to get a yellow card there.
The Spider Cam swoops down to have a look at this Italian free kick. Insigne is over it, and of course Italy have been very productive with their set pieces. It's clipped high into the penalty area. It was a clever move, but the ball dropped into a good position for Unai Simon, and he gathers ahead of the on-rushing Italian talent.
Nigel, it's got to be said, that free kick was probably 35 yards out from goal, and the Italian line was 10 yards from the ball. It was absolutely near enough suicide.
Spain looking to move forward now, down the left-hand side again. It's clipped high into the penalty area, but the cross in from Ferran Torres was deflected, and it will be the first corner to Spain, away to our right-hand side. And I think that Luis Enrique will be delighted with the start his team have made.
He certainly will. They weathered, I wouldn't say the storm, but the Italians probably started the game slightly the better of the two. And since then, the Spanish are the ones that look as though they've knitted things together that little bit more and got in the last third a touch more.
Corner for Spain on the far side. That's an outswinger towards the near post. Azpilicueta was challenging for it, but Italy will clear. And it's regathered by the youngster Pedri on this near side, but he's quickly pressurised by Chiesa. And Eric Garcia goes back to Unai Simon, who sweeps it wide to the left-hand side, and now Jordi Alba with the early ball forward, and Oyarzabal was able to turn momentarily inside the Italian half before Jorginho swoops in to make the challenge, and the early ball forward for Italy on the far side is deflected out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Italy. And we have played 19 minutes here on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport. And when we finished here at Wembley at 10 o'clock, Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy will be taking your calls on national radio. 08717 22 33 44 will be the number to call. And of course they'll be looking ahead to tomorrow night, and I'm sure there will be a story to tell here as well, as Olmo gathers midway inside the Italian half. He had two blue shirts around him, and on this occasion he's the player who has been robbed. Verratti looks for the free kick and gets it, but even on his way down he was turning towards Felix Brych to appeal.
Yeah, I think the referee has been quite kind there. Olmo pulling Verratti back and then tripping him over. Personally, on another day you're in the book and you're on tenterhooks.
Of course, the yellow cards which were accumulated during the competition have now been wiped as Emerson charges forward now for Italy. The goalkeeper has sold himself. Immobile on the edge of the penalty area now. Barella, but he can't get the shot in. Spain somehow got players back around the ball, and what an escape for Unai Simon. He came charging out of his goal to try and hold Emerson. The Chelsea man bypassed him, and Italy really should have scored.
Well, brilliant give and go by Emerson then. Got him behind Azpilicueta as it come into the box. Probably guilty of taking too many touches, but you've got to give credit to Azpilicueta. He's tucked inside, got the first initial block on, and then from there Busquets got the challenge.
Well, we saw Barella finish in splendid fashion against Belgium in the quarter-finals, but he was just unable to manipulate the ball into the sort of area to allow him to get a shot on target there. But as Stuart was saying, Azpilicueta did brilliantly to just close down that space, and Busquets did the rest. But twice now, Stuart, we've seen Unai Simon come charging out of his goal and get nowhere near it.
Yeah, on that occasion I thought for all intents and purposes he was going to get there slightly too late and potentially give a penalty or get sent off. But the standard of football here, Nigel, we haven't seen a game of this intensity in the whole championship. I certainly haven't. You know, it's incredible. It's a wonderful game of technical football.
21 minutes played, no goals, but no lack of interest here. As Eric Garcia goes back towards Unai Simon, who only made his debut for Spain back in November. Of course, he made that error which led to the own goal scored by Pedri against Croatia, but really redeemed himself with those penalty saves in the quarter-final shootout against Switzerland. And he's been picked ahead of the likes of David De Gea and of course Kepa Arrizabalaga, not even involved in the squad. As Bonucci plays a long raking ball from right to left for Italy towards Emerson on this near side, a player who's had very big boots to fill following Spinazzola's performances previously. Now Chiellini, who was looking for Chiesa, who was in space in behind Jordi Alba down the left-hand side, but it was overhit, and it will be a throw into Spain on the far side.
Interesting to see, Nigel, the two centre-halves, the Italians, Chiellini and Bonucci, play as centre-halves in a game like this. They know they're short of pace. They'll go and lock on if they can. If there's any threat at all, they stay at home. Wise defending.
Insigne almost threads it through towards Immobile on the edge of the Spanish penalty area, but the ball strikes the Lazio striker on the heel, and as a result, Spain are able to clear, and Spain have had 70% of the possession so far in the game, but Italy are so dangerous when they create those counter-attack opportunities. 23 minutes played here on TalkSport at Wembley. England against Denmark coming up tomorrow night, and of course we will be building up to it right throughout the day here on TalkSport. But there is business to take care of here first as Koke comes forward for Spain, wide towards Azpilicueta down the right-hand side. Oyarzabal providing the width. Now he comes back in field. Busquets takes over on the edge of the penalty area, tumbles under the challenge of Immobile. Felix Berish is not interested this time, but it's Spain who quickly win back possession. Midway inside the Italy half, and it's Pedri who sprays it wide to the left-hand side. Now Ferran Torres on the edge of the penalty area, and it's flicked back towards Ferran Torres by Olmo. It was an audacious touch again from Olmo, but it doesn't quite find the Manchester City man, and it's gathered by Donnarumma.
Olmo's got to find the balance at the moment between coming to link play up, which he's done really, really well, and also at times leaving that number 10 slot and threatening him behind a little bit.
Here is Pedri. Oyarzabal now inside the penalty area, comes in field, the ball almost breaks kindly for Spain, it does, and the shot from Olmo is turned aside superbly by Donnarumma, and that's the best moment for Spain so far as Koke looks to keep the attack going, but he's been robbed by Verratti, and Chiesa can come forward now for Italy. It's wide to Barella, wide on the right-hand side. Immobile made the run down the centre. Chiesa also made a very quick dart towards the Spanish box, but in the end, Barella held on to possession, but Donnarumma there keeping his side afloat.
Certainly did a fantastic tackle. On that occasion, Olmo was the furthest one forward, and that's good to see. There's too many times we've seen in the first half that the two Italian centre-halves have got no one around them and no threat in behind. You've got to mix it up a little bit in your game, and on that occasion he certainly did.
I would imagine not too far short of 60,000 here tonight. Tickets were on sale earlier on today, but there are thousands and thousands of Italian and Spanish fans at either end of the stadium. Of course, the expat community has been in real evidence for both nations, and it's interesting. Football's Coming Home was being sung by somebody earlier on, and it was being loudly whistled by both sets of supporters. We're watching on the monitor the shot from Olmo again. He did well to profit from a ricochet and then tried to place the effort, but Donnarumma got across to his right and made a fine save.
Yeah, I think it was Chiellini had blocked off the opportunity for him to side foot it to his right, so the only option he had was across his body, and I think the goalkeeper read the strike. I think the Italians and Spaniards have said, look, it's our night tonight, Nige. Keep your mouth shut.
Yes. I'm sure we will hear Football's Coming Home a good deal tomorrow. Spain coming forward again now. Olmo on the edge of the penalty area looking for support. He goes down, appealing for a free kick or possibly even a penalty right on the edge of the area. Chiellini waves him away dismissively, and the referee agrees.
This game is a sensational footballing game, but players potentially going down and feigning an injury for free kicks leaves a little bad taste in your mouth, Nige. It really does, because this game doesn't deserve that. It's been so good. 27 minutes played, 0-0 here on TalkSport, the first semi-final of UEFA Euro 2020 between Italy and Spain, and Spain have been the better side so far, without any question. They have, and they've got Olmo to thank for that. I think he's been absolutely electric in there.
And now Di Lorenzo has been penalised for a challenge on the far side on Ferran Torres, and it will be a free kick for Spain, tight to the touchline on their left. Italy yet to muster an attempt on goal so far. Spain have had 3 of those, with that shot from Olmo the only one on target, which was saved by Donnarumma. And
sorry, Nige, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as a long ball is played forward, looking for the run of Ferran Torres again, but that midfield trio, rather the attacking trio for Spain, Stuart, Italy aren't quite sure at the moment who to pick up, are they?
They're not, because Olmo's coming so deep. He's almost going beyond Jorginho in the midfield just to affect play and get on the ball, and he's that quick, he can set things off and get in behind Jorginho and link play. He's been outstanding. He's probably been the key player in these first 20 odd minutes in the game.
Now Immobile chasing a long ball down the centre again. Unai Simon was outside his box before he knew he had the time to retreat and head back into the penalty area and pick the ball up, but his first thought is always to move forward towards the attacking player.
I tell you what, the Italians are doing fantastically well. When they can get their team into advanced areas and the Spaniards have got the ball at the back, they're locking on and near enough going man for man. As we can see it happening in front of our eyes now. They're squeezing on, pushing a central defender in and just going man for man and pressing.
And it's not just football coming up across the TalkSport network. We're also broadcasting exclusive audio rights to Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder on Saturday, July the 24th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. TalkSport will be broadcasting 10 hours of uninterrupted coverage from 8 o'clock that evening. Fury, Wilder 3, live here exclusively to TalkSport. And Italy are finding themselves under increasing pressure here, and they are giving away a number of free kicks as well, and there is already some movement on the Italian bench.
Yeah, I've not seen an injury for anyone as such, Nigel.
Well, Chiesa was just hobbling around for a couple of moments, but he looks to be okay. Spain now have a throw-in level with the edge of the Italian penalty area. It's thrown in towards Olmo, but cleared away by Bonucci. And now Jorginho will try and release the pace of Chiesa down the right-hand side, but that's superb defending from Aymeric Laporte to lunge in and made sure he got the ball and divert it back towards Unai Simon. Half an hour played at Wembley, and this game has been 100 miles an hour right from the very start, but it's Italy 0, Spain 0, and of course we must have a winner here this evening as Di Lorenzo clashes with Ferran Torres once again, but this time it is the Spanish player who was penalised for a shove in the back, and it's Italy who have a free kick.
I think we've had a winner already in the game, actually. This is a sensational game to watch. It really is, from a tactical approach of both teams, the movement, the pace that they deal with the ball, the pace that they play the ball, and the little finite movements within the game to receive. It's incredible.
Italy choose not to play the free kick forward, and Bonucci will go all the way back to Donnarumma, who is Chiellini, left-hand side of the penalty area. Sells a dubby to Oyarzabal, and now Insigne finding Emerson. The challenge comes in on Immobile on this near side from Laporte, and it will be a throw into Italy. But this game has given us everything apart from goals so far. There has been some fabulous approach play. There's just the odd hint of steel as well, as Koke does well to win it back from Verratti, and here is Olmo coming forward now. Olmo strikes it right-footed on the edge of the penalty area, but it was always rising too high.
It is. He's a real live wire, this kid. As I say, just probably took the wrong option there. He's got two, I don't want to be disrespectful here, elderly central defenders that are saying, please take a long shot rather than take me on. I know they're intelligent, they'll back off, they'll slow him down, but he's just took the shot too early. Fantastic opportunity once again from a turnover of possession.
Bonucci is 34 and Chiellini will be 37 next month as another high early ball forward for Italy seeks out Immobile, but Laporte so far has won that duel comprehensively, and he just jabs it wide on the far side, and it will be a throw-in to Italy, level with the edge of the Spanish penalty area with 33 minutes played here on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, 0-0 at Wembley in the first semi-final, as Immobile now with some great movement in behind Laporte, but I think Laporte just had a look over his shoulder and knew where he was, and once again it's swept out of play by the Manchester City defender, but the Italian throw-in this time is aimed for Chiesa. But the ball is very quickly levered from his grasp, and Jordi Alba will clear, but Italy, for the first time in a long time it feels, looking to get the ball down inside Spanish territory as Chiellini does well to find Insigne on the edge of the penalty area. It's back to Insigne now from Immobile inside the penalty area, and the challenge comes in on Insigne on this near side, and Azpilicueta doing just enough to ensure that Insigne was unable to wriggle beyond him, and it's a goal kick to Spain.
Nigel, all I can say watching this game is I'm pleased I've retired from international football. The pace and the tempo of it is absolutely outstanding. Little give and goes around the box. You've got to be on your mettle all the time here.
Verratti midway inside the Spanish half, quickly forward to Insigne, and Azpilicueta has been very watchful so far not to give him that room to come inside, but here is Immobile now. Insigne makes the run beyond him, but the flag is raised for offside. Of course, Spain have played here previously at the old Wembley back in Euro 96 when they lost on penalties following a 0-0 draw. Luis Enrique was on the bench that day, and of course Stuart Pearce had a very public moment of redemption during the shootout. But looking back on that game, Stuart, had there been VAR that day, Spain may have won.
Well, they're certainly the better side on the day, that is for sure, but then again we're seeing a game now where you would say if it was a boxing match I'd just have the Spaniards in front tonight.
They were a side then who often impressed but never really got the job done when it really mattered, but of course that all changed with that golden era which carried them to 2 successes in the European Championships, as Koke now on the edge of the penalty area always has support from Busquets. They are never more than 10 yards apart, Busquets and Koke, at the heart of the Spanish midfield, as Laporte finds Jordi Alba on the far side, and now Pedri once again, who is playing with a good deal of maturity on the left-hand side of the Spanish midfield. Azpilicueta back towards Eric Garcia, who was the surprise choice ahead of Pau Torres at the heart of the Spanish defence alongside Aymeric Laporte. A long ball forward for Spain is tidied up by Di Lorenzo, and Donnarumma will quickly play it wide towards Emerson on this near side, headed on towards Insigne. Lovely ball back in field from Insigne. Emerson now will break over the halfway line with 3 Azzurri shirts ahead of him. Emerson all the way up to the edge of the penalty area. He goes down, challenged by Busquets, and Felix Berish waves away the appeals.
Yeah, as I say, another great attack there, almost a 4-on-4 scenario. Busquets having to drop back into the heart of the back line just to slow things down, and Emerson just overrun the ball slightly. Looked fantastic in stride, just needed a passer to come for a little 1-2.
And be sure to check out our new podcast across the TalkSport network. Hear all the big talking points and the biggest interviews from the managers and the players that matter. Download or listen to the Euro Daily podcast on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcasts. Spain continue to enjoy possession, around 60-65% in this game, but with 8 minutes to play in the first half on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, it is still 0-0 here at Wembley. And this really has the atmosphere of a major European final tonight, even though the conclusion will be coming up live on TalkSport on Sunday night, and of course we hope that one of these sides will be facing England in the final. Spain have a throw-in on the far side, midway inside the Italian half, and Roberto Mancini continues to make that walk up towards the edge of the Italian technical area to make 1 or 2 points, as Italy have given the ball away just outside their own box, but Chiesa was fouled there by Busquets, and it will be a free kick to Italy. And you just get the sense, maybe, Stuart, that the game is trying to take a breather.
I'm trying to take a breather.
Yes.
It's absolutely frantic. It's frantic without any panic. It's so well organised, so quick, so swift is the passing movements and the pressing. The pressing's that good that your passing's got to be good.
Eric Garcia does well to anticipate and win the ball ahead of Immobile on the halfway line for Spain. Busquets almost sells Laporte short. Barella nearly won the ball on the halfway line, and now Spain have given the ball away. And here is Immobile, barrel-chested, wide to this near side, has Insigne in support, but his ball in field is a poor one, cut out by Oyarzabal. Now Koke finding Pedri, 15 yards inside the Italian half, quickly on towards the edge of the penalty area. Oyarzabal found by Olmo in space, coming in field onto the left foot, and he skied it.
Really slick, turnover of possession once again on the halfway line. Really slick passing, I've got to say, by the Spaniards, and just took their shot too early, Nige, like Olmo did earlier. Just settle on the ball. It's not on to shoot in the areas that you are. And I've just pulled up Olmo's record here at Leipzig, 44 and 8 goals, and that probably sums up fantastic link play, fantastic set-up play, and just probably not as clinical in front of goal.
Well, our producer Declan McCarthy has just told me that Dani Olmo's now had 19 shots in this tournament and he's yet to score.
Yeah, and that's probably down to the fact he's taken those shots when they're not on. It needs a cool head, slow it down, get a little bit closer to goal.
A long run down the centre now made by Immobile, and once again Unai Simon was outside his penalty area to head clear this time, as Italy are penalised for a challenge on Busquets made by Barella just inside the Spanish half, and there is Italian exasperation all round, and Spain have the free kick, and we have 4 minutes to play in the first half, and it's still 0-0 here at Wembley.
The body language and expressions of both sets of players are quite incredible. You wouldn't want to be a referee tonight. You wouldn't have a clue whether someone's been fouled or not touched at all by the body language of the players. The expressions are incredible.
Rather puts your game face into perspective, doesn't it?
It certainly does. I should have been a lot cleverer in my day, I'm sure, Nigel.
Spain clear long and early downfield, but it's cut out by Chiellini. Silky touch from Insigne to find Emerson down the left-hand side, back towards the captain. Chiellini once again making his 111th appearance for Italy. He retired after their failure to reach the World Cup back in 2018, but Roberto Mancini had other ideas, and we have since seen why. Di Lorenzo with a ball forward down the right. It was quickly blocked, but it's headed on by Barella, and then Bonucci careers into a challenge to win it back for Italy, and Immobile is penalised, and it will be a free kick to Spain 15 yards outside their penalty area. And do you think Immobile is doing enough, Stuart?
I think it's a little bit difficult. I would say for large swathes of this half, the Spanish have been in ascendancy, Nigel, I've got to say. Potentially you'd want a touch more from him, but listen, in all honesty, I'm enjoying the game that much that...
But Italy yet to have a shot on goal in this game, and we have 3 minutes to play in the first half as Spain come forward again now with the 18-year-old Pedri wide to the right-hand side, and Oyarzabal, who was given his debut at Real Sociedad by David Moyes. Now Eric Garcia finding Laporte. Jordi Alba with a good ball to find Pedri on the edge of the penalty area. He then works it wide to the far side at Olmo, but the return ball back to him was overhit, and it's gathered by Donnarumma. And as the Italian goalkeeper gathers the ball, the Italian fans try and turn up the volume, because maybe they can sense Spain are in the ascendancy here.
Well, once again, we rolled into a semi-final and people suggesting this team or that team are favourites, suggesting the Italians and what they've showed us in this tournament, arguably been the best team on what's been on show. All of a sudden, the Spanish, I think, have gone up to another level. And this game is finally in the balance. I think where both teams, Nigel, showed, Spain have shown they've got great build-up and probably panicked when they've had opportunities. The Italians, when they've had chances, it's been balls over the top for a high line from Spain, so potentially when they do get in, they'll have a clear-cut opportunity.
Emerson was in full flight on this near side, and he was just checked by Koke, and Felix Brych will have a word as Insigne tries to take an early free kick from close to the halfway line. It was well wide, but he will get another go here because the referee wasn't ready. But Emerson, who, as we heard before kick-off, has been a regular fixture in the Italian team, if not the Chelsea one, but at the moment he's been very effective down this left-hand side.
He certainly has. He's showing great energy. The odd give and go that's causing a problem, and as we saw earlier, a great underlap inside, and he was just unfortunate, if you like, to be taken down by Busquets on the edge of the box.
Di Lorenzo finding Barella now down the right hand side. Now Insigne takes over for Italy, 10 yards outside the Spanish penalty area. Verratti, and it's back towards Bonucci. A good ball from him, wide to the left hand side. There could be an overload here as Insigne uses Emerson as the decoy, comes infield. Here is Emerson now, he goes for goal, and it strikes the crossbar and it loops over, and Emerson of Chelsea so close to the opening goal, and they work that superbly, the Italians. Insigne picking out Emerson, and he rattled the woodwork.
Well, I think from the offset there, Insigne's picked the ball up, dribbled it inside. Now I had a feeling Emerson, he's backing up, waiting for the ball down the line, and I think when it come, it almost took him by surprise. I was under the impression that Insigne was going to cut inside and look to shoot, and I think Emerson was as well, but he's done really well to get his shot away under a bit of pressure.
And Laporte was dithering there, he was playing everybody onside, which is why Spain were under so much pressure. And that is a half-time whistle as Dani Olmo looked to charge over the halfway line, but Felix Brych, with a blast of the whistle, brings an astonishing 45 minutes to a close. It has been absolutely breathless here at Wembley. No goals, but so much to talk about, so much to enjoy. It is Italy 0, Spain 0. Thank you, Mark. Italy re-emerging for the second half. They once won a semi-final in the European Championships on a coin toss against Russia back in 1968, and that was the only time that Italy went on to win the tournament. Of course, we would have a penalty shootout should we get beyond extra time here today, but Luis Enrique is sat looking very thoughtful inside the Spanish technical area, and I just wonder, Stuart Pearce, if he may be thinking Spain could have missed their chance in the first half.
What he'll be disappointed in, the run of play he'll be absolutely delighted with. What he'll be disappointed with is when they've burst past and got really good opportunities to isolate a defender and take them on. They've took the shots far too early on at least 3 occasions. They've had fantastic opportunities in the box, one-on-one scenarios. You've got to have more composure than that.
Italy get the second half underway in their famous blue shirts, defending the goal away to our left. Spain in all white, and there is a free kick in the opening 10 seconds, and it's Bonucci who has been caught by the other number 19 on the pitch, Dani Olmo, and Bonucci very quickly, and he puts up 3 fingers towards the referee to suggest it's not been the first time he's been challenged by Olmo, and then the free kick from him goes straight out of play as Oyarzabal comes forward for Spain on the far side, the right. He's quickly challenged though by Verratti, and it will be a throw-in to Spain, level with the edge of the Italian penalty area on the far side, the Spanish right. Olmo comes short, but it's over his head. Oyarzabal takes over, looks to find Olmo. just unable to poke the ball through to him on the edge of the penalty area. And then Eric Garcia just ensures there won't be any potential breakaway for Italy on the far side, with a very quick challenge on Insigne, and that will be a throw-in to Italy. A reminder of the two sides once again. Italy, Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Chiellini and Emerson their back four, Barella, Jorginho and Verratti in midfield, Chiesa, Immobile and Insigne in attack. For Spain, Simon in goal, Azpilicueta, Laporte, Eric Garcia and Jordi Alba their back four, Koke, Busquets and Pedri in midfield, Ferran Torres, Olmo and Oyarzabal leading their line. And the position of Olmo as a false nine, coming very deep at times, has caused Bonucci and Chiellini one or two alarms so far, as Jordi Alba comes forward on this near side, the Spanish left, and the ball is jabbed into the path of Ferran Torres, who is very quickly flagged offside, and Italy will have a free kick. 2 minutes into the second half, 0-0 here at Wembley on TalkSport, and here are the early second half thoughts of Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, game just settling down into a rhythm in this half, played mainly in the Italian half. And the Italians once again trying to look to play out and play through the press, but unsuccessful.
Now Busquets, the captain, in the absence of Sergio Ramos, who of course wasn't selected for the squad along with any other Real Madrid players, and Luis Enrique choosing to only pick 24 when he could have gone for 26. As Unai Simon plays a very interesting ball across his own penalty area straight to Lorenzo Insigne, and eventually the challenge comes in on him, and it will be an Italian corner. And at times Unai Simon seems to be on a completely different wavelength to all of his teammates.
Well, Nigel, sometimes a player will play a bad pass and you think, I know what you were trying to do there, and on other occasions you scratch your head and say, I have no idea what the target was.
Insigne with the corner into the near post, headed away well though by Laporte, and the ball bounces up towards the halfway line, where Dani Olmo has done well to win it back, and then it's quickly played forward looking for Ferran Torres, but it should be tidied up by Bonucci, and it is, and Italy have possession once again, but it's quickly given up. Azpilicueta's ball forward though is a poor one down the right hand side, and now the long early ball forward seeking out Immobile, who gets goal side of Laporte, pokes a shot towards goal, but he was always off balance, so as a result the shot was some way off target and the flag was raised, and it's a goal kick.
Once again, it's the Italians that have got the space in behind the Spanish back line to create the odd chance. The Spaniards, more importantly, they probably have to play things, take the extra pass and play up against a deeper lying Italian backline.
Immobile, one of the old men of this Italian team now at the age of 31, and he's watching his defenders have to backtrack here as Oyarzabal comes forward for Spain, wide to the right hand side of Olmo, early cross into the penalty area, and it's defended superbly by the right back Di Lorenzo, because he knew that Ferran Torres was somewhere in the vicinity, but he lunged in to concede the corner.
Good build-up by Spain there, and it was that man, I tell you what, every time something decent happens that Spain are involved in, the man Olmo is involved in it, whether it's a deep line link play, or on that occasion, just on the right-hand side, whipped a lovely cross in, good defending on the back post.
Dani Olmo scored the winner last season when Spain won the under-21 European Championships, and they have 22 age group titles in this squad. They're also the current under-19 champions. A number of good youngsters coming through. Corner from Koke, high into the penalty area, fisted away by Donnarumma, headed wide to Oyarzabal on this near side, the left. Now Ferran Torres once again. Koke is the target. It's swept back into the path of Dani Olmo on the edge of the penalty area, but in the end Jordi Alba's unable to deliver a cross, and Busquets will be penalised for the challenge on Immobile, and the first yellow card will be flourished this evening by Felix Brych, and it's towards Busquets.
Yeah, I think it was definitely coming in on the wrong side of that, and there's no way that he can get to the ball from there. Probably it evens up the one in the first half where he's pulled back, and a potential yellow card in the first half.
And it's a free kick for Italy, which Bonucci will take. And once again, his distribution at the start of the second half has been poor. It's straight out of play, and with 51 minutes played on Euro Game Day Live here on TalkSport, it is still 0-0 in the first semi-final of UEFA Euro 2020. England against Denmark coming up tomorrow, and we will have all the build-up, all of the coverage throughout the day, starting with Laura Ward, Sally McCoist and Andros Townsend in breakfast at 6 o'clock tomorrow. And we will be live from the Box Park here, just outside Wembley Stadium, for mid-afternoon, telling you all you need to know before what could be a monumental evening for English football. Oyarzabal now coming forward for Spain, down the right-hand side. Chiellini is backpedaling. Oyarzabal goes beyond him. Busquets with the shot, and it's just over the top. Well, he's not scored for 7 years, but Busquets wasn't too far away there.
Great play there. Azpilicueta sliding in, playing it up the wing. Oyarzabal drove at the defender. No panic then. He took him on and played a wonderful pass back to Busquets, who killed it beautifully. Just got underneath it by probably about 6 inches. Should have done better, really. Player of his quality.
Now Chiellini, pressurised by Oyarzabal, plays a long ball forward. Lovely touch from Immobile. There's an opportunity now for Insigne to break down the centre. Turns back in field on the edge of the penalty area. It's Barella now. Wide to the right-hand side of Chiesa. Chiesa comes in field. No right foot shot from him. It's too close to Unai Simon. But it is the first shot on target from Italy in the 52nd minute.
Yeah, it's that high-ish line once again from the Spaniards, and the Italians broke beyond it. They managed to get back and get goal side, but good set-up play. Chiesa driving through legs. Good save by the Cat.
53 minutes played at Wembley on TalkSport. Italy 0, Spain 0, and this is not the Italy we have seen previously during these European Championships. They have been so good, untouchable at times, defending a 32-match unbeaten run. But Spain, so far tonight, although they've not scored, they have caused them numerous problems.
Yeah, and I think that's probably more down to how good the Spanish have been, Nigel, rather than the Italians being inept. I think the Italians have played their part and played quite well, but Spaniards haven't given them a moment's break since probably the first 10 minutes.
And just listen to that noise. This really is a wonderful football occasion. It's an atmosphere and a setting befitting a major European semi-final. The red and yellow of Spain away to our right-hand side, and the blue of Italy to our right. And it's Koke coming forward now for Spain, down that right-hand side. Oyarzabal is in support, and it's worked back towards Eric Garcia, and Laporte is the last man for Spain, midway inside the Italian half. Italy have drawn every single blue shirt back behind the ball defending. Now Koke once again. And it's Laporte who has got time to assess his options, and he's picked out the 18-year-old Pedri, who has had a major role in this Spanish performance so far. And Spain here are content to enjoy possession inside Italian territory as Busquets plays it wide to Oyarzabal out on the right-hand side. And although Spain are stringing plenty of passes together here, I don't think Italy will be too concerned. But now it's one over the top, looking for the run of Jordi Alba in behind Di Lorenzo, but it's overhit and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, good movement there by Alba, but Di Lorenzo, like any good fullback would, tracked the run and saw it out of play.
An Italian change is imminent. Domenico Berardi of Sassuolo will be coming on. So clearly Roberto Mancini has seen enough. Berardi assisted goals in the opening 2 games of the competition, as Laporte plays it back to Unai Simon. Now short to Eric Garcia. Wide on the right-hand side, Azpilicueta will find Busquets. Olmo this time unable to hold the ball up, pressurised by Chiellini, and Italy quickly win it back with Verratti. Sprayed wide to the left-hand side, and Chiellini, and once again it's that left-hand side overload for Italy. Insigne finding the run of Emerson, but his low cross towards the near post is cut out, and Olmo will chase a long ball forward for Spain, and he's done well to win it. If he has support, it could be in here. It's Pedri with a run down the centre, wide to this near side, and Ferran Torres, he comes in field, right foot shot though, is very quickly blocked by Di Lorenzo. And it's noticeable how quickly Italy get bodies back in that sort of situation.
I don't think they have a choice, Nige, to be fair. If they don't, they're outnumbered, they're in big trouble. It's that man Olmo again. His persistency up front, his darting pace caused the problem. He set up the setup, and off they went from there.
Chiellini is deep in conversation with the referee, Felix Brisch of Germany. And the attendance here tonight, 57,811. And that is a really, really good effort from supporters of Italy and Spain to come here in such great numbers at a time like this.
I think the fans at both ends of the pitch, in the lower bowl at both ends, more so the Spanish off to our left, the Italians to our right.
Now Busquets has robbed Verratti midway inside the Italian half. Busquets infield to Koke. Oyarzabal to his right. Oyarzabal, twinkle toes from him, steps inside, left-footed shot, but it's too close to Donnarumma.
Good strike, really good strike, straight at the goalie though, just above him, reached up both hands, just plucked it out of the night sky. Never really troubling him from there.
57 minutes played. It is a mild but far from warm evening here in Wembley after so much rain earlier on, as Immobile brings the ball down, looks to muscle his way beyond Laporte on this near side. Jordi Alba comes back to cover, and it's he who in the end makes the challenge, and Spain will try and clear, but they've given the ball away. But Barella's ball forward is a dreadful one, straight to Olmo, and it's Spain now who will try and counter-attack, and the breakneck pace of this game is unrelenting with 58 minutes play, but it's still 0-0. Now Pedri, wide to Ferran Torres. Pedri again. And very few people outside of Spain had really paid too much attention to as an international player before this tournament, but this has been his time to shine. Koke, wide towards the far side, and Azpilicueta. Koke again. We'll see every single Italian player pull back to within 15 yards of their own penalty area. As Laporte looks to pick his way through, he's found Olmo. Olmo was challenged by Verratti on the edge of the penalty area, then wiring into a challenge as Busquets. Here is Olmo with a cross into the area, and it's gathered by Donnarumma. And Italy now will try and lead the counter-attack themselves. Verratti spreads it wide towards the far side, and Insigne with a quick ball forward towards Immobile on the edge of the penalty area. The challenge comes in, but here is Chiesa. Chiesa's right foot shot, wonderful goal! Italy lead in the semi-final. Federico Chiesa strikes at Wembley once again, and Roberto Mancini's team have eyes firmly fixed on Sunday's final now. A classic breakaway, and it was Chiesa who was there to provide the finishing touch with a high degree of style, and it's Italy who leads Spain by a goal to nil.
Nige, the clinical nature of that counter-attack was incredible. They swept down the pitch. When it arrived at Chiesa's feet, he opened his body up, curled it with pace into the far corner. Credit to the goalkeeper, Donnarumma, started the attack really quickly. And how quick did they sweep up the pitch? Brilliant ball, brilliant running behind. And Chiesa just opened his body out and dispatched into the far corner. Not sure the goalkeeper could have done slightly better.
Should have done better, couldn't he?
He should have done better. He's half got to read that. Azpilicueta's covering one side of the goal. He's got to read that it's going in the other side. But great finish all the same.
Well, he scored an outstanding goal here against Austria in the round of 16. And Federico Chiesa is a player who consistently steps out of his father's shadow, of course. Enrico Chiesa scored in Euro 96 for Italy at Anfield. and he'll be very proud of his son scoring here. Italy are making changes, and Berardi is the player who is coming on, and it's Immobile who has been taken off. So Mancini still looking to change up his attacking options despite taking the lead, and Ferran Torres has been replaced by Alvaro Morata as Spain chase the game with half an hour to play. Italy 1, Spain 0.
Well, that has sparked this game and this crowd into life, Nigel. The standard of play and the speed of the play was fantastic, and what a counter-attack move from end to end at Wembley. The goal to our left, swept the ball right up the pitch, goal to our right, just rippled as that ball hit the back of the net. Now it's all to play for. Spain have got to lift the standard of their play even more. That could play nicely into the Italians' hands for that counter-attack again.
Italian fans all around Wembley bouncing at the moment as Spain look to try and retrieve this game. For the second successive Euros, Italy could be ending Spain's challenge here. But there is a long way to go in this game. Here is Koke. Square to Laporte again. And now Jordi Alba down the left. He will continue his run into the penalty area. It's a good cross in, which was over the head of Bonucci. And as so often, it's Chiellini who steps in to ensure there was no real error as he heads the ball behind for a corner.
Once again, as we've seen before in this tournament, the Italians hanging on to a lead. They clear something in their box. It's high fives all round.
Corner kick for Spain as their fans look on at the western end of the stadium. Oyarzabal with an outswinger. Chiellini is there again to head the ball away. Pedri goes all the way back to Unai Simon. 32 matches unbeaten for Italy, and they're heading towards another victory here. Spain themselves with only one defeat in 29 heading into this game, but they are just in a period at the moment where they are trying to integrate so many young players into the team at the same time. Of course, there was an extended gap between qualification and this tournament, but 17 players started this European Championship in their first major tournament, and there's a big hole in terms of experience which Luis Enrique has tried to overcome. 63 minutes played on TalkSport. Italy 1, Spain 0. England against Denmark coming up tomorrow on TalkSport right throughout the day. Azpilicueta wide on the right hand side, low cross into the penalty area, cut out at the near post by Jorginho, but he almost gives the ball away. Berardi's header only finds Jordi Alba. Now Koke with the ball in, and the header is wide. What an opportunity for Spain to equalise, and it was Busquets again who was arriving inside the penalty area, and it's glanced wide.
Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing. It was a sumptuous ball into the box, and you thought it's impossible. Oyarzabal it was, coming in at the far post, I think.
Yeah.
It almost looked impossible to miss the ball. It was incredible. I'm not sure they'll get a better chance than that tonight. And that probably shows the difference between these two sides. The football's been slightly better from Spain. Killer instinct could cost them this evening. The Italians clinical at one end. 5 minutes later, the Spaniards have missed a gilt-edged chance.
Here is Laporte. Square towards Eric Garcia. Wide towards Azpilicueta once again. Oyarzabal will gather down the right. Koke, early cross into the penalty area, headed away by Bonucci. And Chiellini and Bonucci will be very happy to deal with that sort of service for the rest of the evening. 65 minutes played. Italy leading here by a goal to nil. Heading towards the final. Cross low into the penalty area from Azpilicueta out on the right-hand side, but yet again it is swept away, and we may be inside the new Wembley here, but Chiellini alongside Bonucci really are Italy's twin towers.
I think in time gone by
Here is Oyarzabal on the edge of the penalty and brings it down, and the shot from Olmo is wide, and yet again Olmo shoots and fails to score in the European Championships.
What a beautiful ball in there to Oyarzabal, and he's just come back on the edge of the box to Olmo, and he's not had time to adjust. He's just run onto it and struck it and just cut across the ball. Got it probably about a metre wide. The Italians now not looking to lock on and squeeze on. They're happy to defend that box, defend the line of the box and say, come on then, what are you going to do?
Bonucci. High ball up towards the halfway line where it's neatly brought down by Insigne. And Barella believes he was fouled there by Jordi Alba, but nothing given by Felix Brych. Morata, though, has very quickly given the ball away to Di Lorenzo. Morata is helped out and now will try and bring the ball forward in typically willowy fashion on this near side, but Italy win it back, and of course they know now one more goal and that will surely be that. Berardi almost finds Chiesa, and now Chiesa does have the ball midway inside the Spanish half, breaking towards the penalty area, driving towards the right. Chiesa has Insigne in support, lovely ball forward to find Berardi, and Berardi's shot is blocked by the legs of Simon at the near post. Now Insigne back towards Barella, and as Spain push forward, Italy will have increasing gaps to exploit, and they almost did that. High ball forward from Chiellini, and it's into the arms of Unai Simon, who kept his team in touch with that save.
The Spaniards can't afford to drop off this pace. They've just got to keep going forward with relentless attack after attack. They're trying to put crosses in the box now, and the Italians are feeding off counter-attacks, which they are very, very good at.
08717 22 33 44, the number to call the Sports Bar with Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy at the end of this game, and assuming we finish in 90 minutes, they will be on at 10 p.m. if we go to extra time. It will be delayed, but for that to happen we need a goal from Spain here, and at the moment they have shown plenty of promise but no punch where it really matters. Busquets square towards Eric Garcia, and now Koke. And you look at the Spain bench, they've got options, Stuart, but the style of play you don't really feel will change. They're making a double change here, but people will slot into this pattern, won't they?
They certainly will, and why not? They're playing well enough, the Spaniards, you know, they really are, and I almost look and think, would a change improve you in some ways? I don't know. I know sometimes you have to make a change for change's sake, but they're playing well enough. They just need a touch of composure in the final third.
Almost now being penalised for a challenge on Barella, and it will be a free kick. Spain are about to make their double change. And don't forget, coming up on TalkSport exclusively, Fury Wilder 3 on Saturday, July the 24th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and TalkSport will broadcast 10 uninterrupted hours on the night from 8 p.m. July the 24th. That is Fury Wilder 3 only on TalkSport. Koke has been replaced by Rodri, so another Manchester City player coming onto the field, and Gerard Moreno of Villarreal comes on for Oyarzabal, who will be thinking about that chance he missed for a long, long time if it stays like this. But Gerard Moreno, coming off the back of an excellent season for Villarreal, scored their goal against Manchester United in the Europa League final, and only Lionel Messi scored more La Liga goals last season. Jordi Alba finding Pedri. Low ball across the field to pick out Rodri. Azpilicueta, as ever, is in space down the right-hand side. But Italy are just happy to sit in on the edge of their penalty area here. Laporte with a high ball in, it's nodded down by Moreno. And now Dani Olmo from the resulting clearance. Jordi Alba will try and keep the ball in play, clips a high cross to the far post, Donnarumma's lost it, and he made sure that he felt he was fouled by Azpilicueta, and a free kick's been given.
Yeah, Azpilicueta just tried to run him under the ball there, a little nudge in the back, hoping a teammate was behind. Otherwise goalkeeper's going to swallow that up.
Spain have had 9 attempts on goal in this game, only 2 on target.
Yeah, and I would have said out of those 9, Nige, there's 3 that spring to my mind that should have resulted on at least making the goalkeeper make a save.
Matteo Pessina is coming on for Italy. Scored what turned out to be the winning goal against Austria. As now Berardi comes forward, as Italy seek a second goal, the challenge comes in from Jordi Alba, and sliding in to ensure that the corner is not conceded, Unai Simon will hack the ball away on this near side, and it will be a throw into Italy.
Yeah, he just played the pass too early, I think. A real good opportunity once again for that counter-attack. Spain very, very high, and just played the pass a little too soon.
19 minutes to play on TalkSport. Italy 1, Spain 0 in the first Euro 2020 semi-final here at Wembley. A crowd of nearly 58,000, and they have been enthralled. Bonucci, short to Jorginho, back towards Bonucci again, and Morata is buzzing around, but he's barely had a kick so far, but he will do now because he almost cuts out the ball forward from Donnarumma, who very quickly apologises to all of his teammates as Morata challenges Chiellini, but Italy do have a throw-in on this near side, and it will be a double change made by Italy. We've already told you about Pessina, and Rafael Toloi of Atalanta is also coming on as well. Marco Verratti is withdrawn to be replaced by Pessina, who also scored the only goal against Wales. And Pessina winning only his 9th cap, but he's already scored 4 goals in that time, part of a very impressive side at Atalanta. And Emerson is the player who was withdrawn to be replaced by Rafael Toloi. And Emerson has justified his inclusion.
Certainly has. I think he's played well tonight.
And Toloi, also of Atalanta, comes on. And Italy looking to wind down the clock here with 17 minutes to play on TalkSport. 08717 22 33 44 is the number for the sports bar. Of course, so much to look forward to tomorrow, but so much to enjoy here tonight so far if you're a neutral. Azpilicueta cuts out a ball forward from Di Lorenzo on the far side. And the ball is played back across the Spanish penalty area. Unai Simon steps in ahead of Laporte, and there was almost more confusion there, but Spain do eventually clear. But I'm not entirely sure that communication is Simon's strongest suit, Stuart.
No, instead of coming onto the ball just then and dealing with it, he's took a touch, he's ended up getting in the way of Laporte, and, well, as you say, he makes some unusual decisions.
But he had no chance at all with the goal, although he did rather stand there, but it was very well placed from Chiesa.
I think whenever you see a ball at the back of the net, you're hoping and expecting to see a goalkeeper to dive, aren't you? You know, and if it hits the net and it's not gone in the postage stamp, you start to question.
And the Italian fans get behind their team once again. 15 minutes to play at Wembley on TalkSport. Italy 1, Spain 0. And Roberto Mancini's remarkable transformation of this Italian side looks set to include a place in a European Championship final, unless Spain can come up with a goal here. Mancini was involved in Euro 88 as a player, and Gianluca Vialli, one of his right-hand men, scored the only goal when Italy beat Spain in Frankfurt during that tournament. Gerard Moreno on the far side has support from Rodri. It's all the way back to the halfway line, and Eric Garcia, who very quickly exchanges passes with Laporte. And then Busquets tumbles, but the ball is played forward to Morata inside the penalty area, right-hand side. Morata's low cross in though is blocked by Bonucci, and it's a corner kick, and Morata there seemed to be caught in about 10 minds.
Yeah, he was. A slid ball down the side. Chiellini caught out, caught for space, caught for a positional play for once, and he should have took the shot first time. He's took an extra touch, in the end got blocked.
Almost corner, headed away by Berardi at the near post. And once again, a set piece for Spain comes to nothing.
The Italians decided that they're nice and deep now. Banks of 4-1, 4-1, and they're just saying what you're going to do. Very compact as a unit.
Olmo will think about chasing a high ball forward from Jordi Alba, but it was always overhit, and it's gathered by Donnarumma, who was only really made one save in the game, turning aside that first half effort from Dani Olmo. And there are plenty of very pensive Spanish faces, and a long ball is played forward now, and Unai Simon clears the ball away on the edge of his own penalty area. It strikes Laporte. It could have gone anywhere. It's a throw-in, but once again Spain living very dangerously.
Well, they certainly are. They're right on the halfway line defending to start with. Simon come out there and just smash the ball into Laporte again. I mean, it's almost comical, and nearly give a, well, it'd be certainly the winning goal if a second goal it went in at present.
Chiellini launches it wide to the far side, and it's brought down superbly by Berardi. Has support from Insigne. But here is Chiellini again, and then Bonucci's ball forward is quickly closed down by Morata, but Jorginho was there to tidy up for Italy. Chiellini again looking for that long raking diagonal ball wide to the far side, but it is tidied up by Azpilicueta. And Spain are running out of time. 12 minutes to play here on Talk Sport. Italy leading by a goal to nil in the opening semi-final of UEFA Euro 2020. And it has been a game which has lived up to the billing so far. Can Spain prise open an Italian defence which has conceded only 16 goals in this 32 match unbeaten run? The goals have been flying in for Spain at times during this tournament, but they have not taken their chances here today as they look to play out from the back again. Eric Garcia fighting Azpilicueta. His ball in field is quickly cut out. Here is Berardi on the edge of the area. Berardi with a low shot. Went for the left-footed curler, and it's kept out comfortably by Unai Simon.
Good effort there. Just opened his body up, curled it. Used the defender, Laporte, I think it was, as a guide to go round, but not enough pace on it really to trouble. But he's given the Italians respite, got them up the pitch a little bit.
Here is Morata, given the room to turn, midway inside the Spanish half. Morata goes all the way through, and Spain have the equalising goal! Alvaro Morata steps off the bench, redemption for him, and relief for Spain! Morata helped out superbly by Olmo, and they carved open this much vaunted Italian defence, and Spain suddenly are back in the semi-final. Italy won, Spain won.
Just when you thought the Italians have quelled the Spanish onslaught, all of a sudden Morata, wonderful football, got himself in a brilliant position 40 metres out, received on the half turn, and off he went straight at the heart of the defence. A lovely 1-2. That man Olmo again involved in the setup, but this was all about Morata, and he showed real composure when he got in on the goalkeeper.
Alvaro Morata, discarded by Luis Enrique at the start of this game, but he has come on, and the Juventus striker, going beyond a number of his club mates, notably Bonucci and Chiellini, it was a very calm finish, and we wondered who could provide that calmness for Spain, and it's Alvaro Morata.
Well, this game is beautifully in the balance now, and if it's anyone that wants to go to extra time here, what a product we got in front of us. Exactly what you want to hope for in a major tournament.
And now Oyarzabal has won it back on the far side. Here is Rodri. Gerard Moreno for Spain. They don't want extra time, they want to win it here. Rodri's low cross into the penalty area, and it's deflected behind by Di Lorenzo, and it's a corner kick for Spain. What a remarkable game. 8.5 minutes to play. Spain looked out of it. Now they are pushing for the winning goal.
They'll need all the leadership of Chiellini and Bonucci at the heart of their back line. They've got to get a grip to this game. There's some nervous Italian faces around this stadium now.
Olmo with the corner, high into the penalty area, headed towards his own goal by Chiellini. And in the end, it was Busquets who got the final touch, and there was chaos inside that Italian penalty area there.
I don't know if it was Bonucci maybe just in front of Chiellini. It might have even been Busquets who's got the touch on that, I think, Nigel. But the ascendancy is certainly with the Spaniards now. They've got their tails up, they're putting pressure on. What can the Italians do?
Well, they have a free kick conceded by Laporte, 15 yards inside the Italian half for a challenge on Insigne. And both managers are out on the edge of the technical area. We have seen Roberto Mancini with his Italian blazer casually slung over his shoulder during post-match interviews during this tournament. That's been dispensed with here because his team are in a real battle with 7 minutes to play of normal time. Italy 1, Spain 1. On TalkSport, it has been a Euro 2020 classic here at Wembley.
Well, I've got to say, Olmo's been very, very impressive, and the addition of Moreno and Morata have certainly give Spain a real lift up front, and they're pushing and pushing and pushing, but this game could still go anyway.
Now Gerard Moreno given room to turn, and he's found Moreno, who was onside down the right-hand side. He chops back towards the edge of the penalty area. Opportunities here for Spain, but it's Gerard Moreno with the shot, left-footed high and wide.
They just can't handle the pace now of the Spaniards. They're finding some fantastic positions in front of the Italian back line to get on the half turn and then slide passes in behind their back line, which is causing all kinds of trouble at present.
Double change now being made by Roberto Mancini. And there will also be movement on the Spanish bench as well. Manuel Locatelli is coming on for Italy along with Andrea Bellotti. And it's Nicolo Barella who has been replaced initially by Locatelli, another Sassuolo player who scored twice in the win against Switzerland on match day 2 in the group stage, and it's Lorenzo Insigne who was replaced by Andrea Bellotti. And Insigne has had his moments here tonight, but maybe not quite enough of them, and Cesar Azpilicueta is also replaced by Marcos Llorente for Spain. And both coaches now maybe having an eye on extra time and making the changes with that in mind. 5 minutes to go here at Wembley. Italy 1, Spain 1. Here on TalkSport. And whatever happens here, Stuart, England against Denmark has got a good deal to live up to.
Well, if this is the warm-up to the big one tomorrow night, we're in for some treat, because for me this has been the game of the tournament. I know there's been other games that have got more goals in it, but the standard of football, the pace that this has been played at, has been absolutely sumptuous.
Italy now have a free kick on this near side. Jorginho wanted to take it quickly and claimed that Olmo blocked that intention. And Toloi will take it in the end, and Felix Brych is just having words with Olmo, who had such a key role to play in the Spanish equaliser. 10 minutes before the end, Toloi with the high ball forward, looking for Pessina, who's unable to control. Busquets will eventually clear. And now Olmo for Spain, as a heavy challenge comes in on this near side by Jorginho on Pedri, and Felix Brych is just wagging a finger at Spanish players who are claiming that there should be a yellow card, but there will at least be a free kick.
Yeah, I think it was a secondary challenge that arrived after Jorginho. He's just gone down and hit either a knee or a boot. He's up, he's okay.
Alvaro Morata has now scored more goals than any other Spaniard at the European Championships, 6 in total throughout his career. As Spain come forward again now with Jordi Alba. Morata peeling away to the left-hand side. He can break into the penalty area, then his first touch was just a bit too heavy, and he runs the ball behind, and it will be a goal kick. And we have seen the good and the bad of Alvaro Morata in the space of about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we certainly have. He's picked the ball up. Olmo once again going down. They managed to retain possession. And when Morata drove with the ball, I thought, well done, now slow down. And he just took a big galloping drag, if you like, of the ball and just overrun it.
Italy try and break on the far side, but Unai Simon steps outside his penalty area and this time gets the job done. But the throw is taken quickly for Italy. Chiesa out on the left-hand side. Pessina coming short. Now it's wide towards the left again, and Pessina will make that dart towards the edge of the penalty area, but his run has been tracked very quickly by Rodri, and then Rodri's in the way to prevent Italy moving the ball further forward, and it will be a throw-in to Italy on the far side with 90 seconds of normal time to play here on TalkSport at Wembley. Italy 1, Spain 1 in the semi-finals of Euro 2020.
It's fair to say at this stage of the game, Nige, any goal now and it's curtains for one or the other. Almost we're looking forward to another half hour at least of this, if possible.
Well, nobody's leaving, put it that way. As Italy try and press on this near side. Toloi's ball forward, it's slid into the path of Bonucci, who was forward, but he quickly retreated as Pessina tried to find him, and Spain win back possession inside their own penalty area. Quickly forward from Eric Garcia to now his former Manchester City teammate Rodri. Unai Simon was quickly closed down by Chiesa, but it's Laporte who plays a high ball forward for Spain, which was flicked on by Olmo, but Morata losing out to Chiellini, but Morata not giving that up as Chiellini looked to stride forward. He came in with the challenge, and it's a missed kick from the Italian captain and a throw into Spain on the far side.
It's the Spanish that are carrying on looking to win this one.
20 seconds of normal time to play at Wembley. 1-1. Extra time is looming here. Laporte up towards Olmo on the edge of the penalty area. Olmo looking to muscle his way beyond Toloi. The ball almost finds Moreno, appeals for handball against Chiellini as he challenged on the ground. Nothing is being given, and now Pessina has quickly played the ball forward towards Chiesa for Italy. On the left-hand side, 4 Spanish shirts around him, and eventually Chiesa goes down looking for a free kick, and we are into a minimum of 3 more minutes here, and Spain may still want to look at that handball appeal on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, there was appeals, but they weren't incensed by it, so you got the impression it was an accidental handball.
But Spain continuing to carry the attacking intent here, as they have done really since Italy took the lead with half an hour to play. Here is Olmo down the left, looking to play it further forward, and the sliding challenge comes in from Di Lorenzo to ensure that the cross doesn't come in from Llorente, and it will be a corner kick to Spain. And we are deep into added time here. In looking at the replay, that would have been a very, very harsh penalty, Stuart.
It would. He's put out a leg as he's gone to ground, Chiellini, and it's just hit his leg and rolled behind him and caught one of his trailing arms.
Spain pushing hard for the winner. Almost corner to the near post is headed away. Jordi Alba looks to head the ball down. He then crumples to the turf, claiming he was caught in the face by Chiesa, but once again the referee is not interested. Here is Pedri for Spain, an 18-year-old who has used the ball so well in the game. Now Busquets, high early ball forward, looking for Olmo, but beyond him, and it's gathered by Donnarumma. And Donnarumma then just claims he was clipped by Olmo as he retreated back towards the halfway line, and once again the referee just has a word. Here is Toloi for Italy. Early ball forward, looking for Belotti, but beyond him. Safe hands this time from Simon.
Really unfortunate that. Belotti made a wonderful run there, and he just needed to take half an ounce off of the weight of it for it to be an absolute perfect ball.
And now Busquets dallied on the ball, is lost out to Belotti. Pessina wide to the far side, and Chiesa, a high hanging ball across the field from left to right, looking for Berardi, who is offside.
I thought for a moment there he was trying to chip the goalkeeper, and then all of a sudden it ended up on the right hand side of the pitch, and I thought, wow, no, it's a pass.
Of course, both teams will be entitled to another change should we go into extra time, which is fairly imminent here at the moment. 1-1 at Wembley. Eric Garcia plays it wide to the far side, down the line from Llorente, Gerard Moreno, and that is it. The end of a scintillating 90 minutes. Italy will believe they had the game won thanks to that curling shot from Federico Chiesa, but 10 minutes from time, Alvaro Morata stepped off the bench, equalised for Spain, and we are heading to another 30 minutes which nobody here inside Wembley will mind. Italy won, Spain won. Thank you, Mark. Spain will get extra time underway here at Wembley, and of course both teams will now have an extra change should they need it. Italy have made 5 during the second half. Locatelli, Belotti, Berardi, Pessina and Toloi all coming on. Spain made 4, Llorente, Morata, Gerard Moreno and Rodri. And of course the inclusion of Morata led to the Spanish equaliser, and they will start extra time, 15 minutes each way, in their white shirts, attacking the goal which is populated by Italian fans behind it, away to our right hand side. And Stuart Pearce, at the moment you could not pick a winner.
No, you couldn't, and I think it's been like that from start to finish in the main. I think the Spaniards overall have been slightly the better side, but they've not managed to fashion enough clear-cut chances until Morata come on.
Olmo has been bowled over by Toloi, and it will be a Spanish free kick midway inside the Italian half. And Spain deserve so much credit for not allowing their heads to drop when they conceded that goal scored by Chiesa.
There's been games I've played in when you're under the caution concede a goal, it doesn't feel as bad as when you've been the better team and the opposition go and score. It's a heartbreaker.
Olmo is over the free kick. Morata makes the run towards the near post, but it was aimed towards Gerard Moreno. Then nodded down by Rodri, but Rodri was doing some climbing on the edge of the penalty area on Di Lorenzo, and it will be a free kick to Italy. And would Roberto Mancini be annoyed? Because most Italian teams at 1-0, you think that's that, but they allowed the game really to slip from their grasp.
I think all managers that have got their nose in front in a really, really tight affair like this, I don't know, annoyed's the word, they'll be frustrated. every time you look at a goal that goes in against your team, you think we could have stopped it somewhere on the pitch.
Well, Berardi is now being caught by Jordi Alba, so it will be a free kick for Italy on the far side, just in front of the Italian technical area. Roberto Mancini still looking immaculate with his crisp white Italian shirt and dark grey slacks. Luis Enrique more casual with his jeans and trainers and jumper over the white shirt. And he'll need the jumper this evening. It's got a rather chilly around Wembley, even though it's the first week of July. It's a high ball is played forward by Bonucci, and it bobbles through towards Unai Simon, and we can hear somewhere people singing "Football's Coming Home" and the Italian and Spanish fans not appreciating it.
Well, there was a banner up early, "It's Coming Rome," and I don't know whether they're just having a play on words there.
Well, I think we heard that quite a lot over the weekend when England were there, as Llorente goes back towards Eric Garcia. And Unai Simon defending the Spanish goal away to our left-hand side. Of course, we hope it is coming home, or somewhere close to that, tomorrow night on TalkSport. England against Denmark. All the build-up from 6 a.m. with Laura Woods and the team on breakfast. Hawksby and Jacobs and Drive coming live from Wembley Way tomorrow afternoon. And following this game this evening, the Sports Bar will be coming up on TalkSport. 08717 223344 is the number to speak to Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy to have a look ahead to tomorrow, and also have a look back on whatever transpires here in the next half hour or so. As Llorente goes all the way back towards Unai Simon, and you get the sense that both teams are just looking to rest with the ball here and maybe take a breather after such an explosive end to the game, and well, basically an explosive 90 minutes. And Spain give up possession on this near side. Laporte's high ball looking for Llorente is straight out of play, and Di Lorenzo will take the throw in for Italy. And Locatelli goes all the way back to Donnarumma. He clears long downfield looking for Belotti, who leapt there above the challenge of Eric Garcia, seemed to land on the small of his back, and Belotti looks to be in some trouble here. And he is currently writhing in agony on the halfway line. The spider cam swoops down to just check on his progress, and this could be the impact of landing in that sort of position, Stuart.
Yeah, he's tried to buy a foul in mid-air, and then I don't know whether he's hurt himself on landing because he hasn't got the foul, or felt compelled to stay on the floor just to prove he was fouled. Take your pick, Nigel.
Well, he's been given nothing. It's a drop ball in the end. Eric Garcia will continue here for Spain. Now Laporte wide to Jordi Alba, one of the elder statesmen of this Spanish team now. Toloi quickly nips in for Italy, but here is Jordi Alba again on the far side, and the game has not really picked up the rhythm we had during normal time so far in extra time. 6 minutes played in the first period, and it's still Italy 1, Spain 1 here on TalkSport, and both teams are giving the ball away with regularity now.
Yeah, Spain have got to find that devilment that they had at the back end of normal time, chasing the game a little bit. Be a shame if this has to go to penalties. I think both teams will be ready for it, but I think the game has offered too much for it to peter out in extra time.
But Italy do have another opportunity to attack here with a throw-in on the far side. It's in towards Belotti, who looks to turn and hook the ball towards the edge of the penalty area, but He loses out, and so too does Jorginho, and now Morata spreads it wide to the far side, and Olmo for Spain. Morata makes the run towards the edge of the penalty area, and Olmo is taken out comprehensively on the far side, and Toloi receives the yellow card, and he doesn't even look at Felix Brych and breaks stride as he heads towards the penalty area because he knew what was coming.
I can quite honestly say I watched Leeds versus Warrington Rugby League yesterday, and if we'd defended our try line like that, we would have probably conceded less tries. Quite incredible. And I almost think it's more than a yellow, Nige. You know, the challenge itself was poor, premeditation, poor defending, for all those things. I almost think there's 10 minutes in a sin bin needed for him.
Yes. Olmo will take the free kick, low in towards the near post. Donnarumma has lost it. Here is Morata with the shot, cleared off the line, scrambling inside the 6-yard area, and somehow it goes behind. Spain want a corner, but a goal kick has been given, and once again Italy living very dangerously.
Well, it was a wide free kick. It was literally, it must have been no more than 2 or 3 metres from the touchline. You think it's got to be a cross. He has smashed it at the far post. The goalkeeper's done quite well eventually to deal with it, and then all manner of defending and scrambling ensued.
Italy now have a free kick just inside their own half. It was the save initially from Donnarumma. Morata's shot was cleared away very close to the goal line, and then the ricochet favouring Italy when it really mattered. Locatelli wide to the far side, but Bonucci is forced back towards Donnarumma once again. Only 22 years of age, but already 31 caps for his nation. Laporte rising above Pessina, heads forward for Spain, and at the moment Spain are carrying much the greater threat in this game, with 98 minutes played on TalkSport. 1-1 at Wembley in the first UEFA Euro 2020 semi-final, and Berardi has now been penalised on the far side, and Italy have rather lost their way.
Yeah, they have. Some embarrassing dives as well thrown into that phase of play there, but it's the Italians under a little bit of pressure now. They've just got to stay in the game. They're certainly more than capable of that.
Now Laporte looking for support wide to the far side, and Jordi Alba. Olmo turns, he goes down again, and it's another free kick given to Spain inside Italian territory, and Felix Brych is just beginning to lose patience here. It was Pessina with the challenge this time, and the Italians are very adept, along with many other nations, at just rotating the identity of the foulers to ensure that not everybody gets in enough trouble to make it really serious. And Spain now looking to build on this near side with Marcus Llorente. And Spain are the first team in European Championship history to play 3 successive games which have gone to extra time. So it's a test of fitness and also a test of mental strength at this stage.
They look really fresh though, don't they, to be fair.
Yeah.
And out the 2 sides they look the team that look as fresh as anyone, and also as well this day and age with 5 substitutions, you know, so they should.
And Luis Enrique was asked yesterday if the team might be tired, and he said when you're this close to glory, the tiredness disappears. Olmo now, neat turn from him, and he sprays it wide to the left hand side. Morata does well to keep the ball in play, and now Pedri twisting and turning on the edge of the Italian penalty area, finding Jordi Alba. Here is Rodri. Rodri's got the width provided by Gerard Moreno down the right. Moreno with a high cross in, looking for the run of Morata. It's been lost by the goalkeeper, and Llorente's shot is blocked with Donnarumma nowhere, and once again Italy living very dangerously.
Yeah, great ball into the box, and when Donnarumma ended up punching away, it was Bonucci that just covered his back line and cleared.
Gerard Moreno low into the penalty area looking for Olmo, but Jorginho will shepherd it back towards Donnarumma. And we have 3 minutes to play in the opening period of extra time here at Wembley. Italy 1, Spain 1. On TalkSport, 08717 223344 is the number to call the sports bar, as Spain are penalised midway inside the Italian half for a challenge on Bonucci, and it will be a free kick to Italy. Be sure to check out our new podcasts across the TalkSport network. Hear all the big talking points and the biggest interviews from the managers and the players that matter. Download or listen to the Euro Daily podcast on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcasts. Bonucci with the free kick, looking for Belotti, who was offside when he challenged for the ball with Laporte. And Spain will have the opportunity to try and build once again. Rodri midway inside the Spanish half. And 1 or 2 people are just beginning to leave Wembley, which always surprises me, but it is midweek in London. Here is Llorente finding Rodri, and Pedri has a 100% pass completion in the game so far, the 18-year-old. 54 passes, and they've all found their target. Here is Olmo turning on the edge of the penalty area, almost threaded it through to Morata, but it was just beyond the Spanish goal scorer, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, so Olmo's energy there, good turn by him, good positional play. He just needs to find a better weight on his pass. He needed it the other way round, like for the goal, I think. Morata driving with the ball, Olmo looking to be the bounce pass.
Donnarumma clears long downfield. It's controlled neatly by Berardi on the far side. Now played long, looking for Belotti, who wins the header but can't pick out Pessina. And it will be a throw-in to Spain. Spain were behind for 20 minutes in the second half before Chiesa's goal was equalised by Morata. And at the moment we are just over 15 minutes away from a penalty shootout here. Busquets finding Gerard Moreno. Spain offering so much more invention during extra time. Here is Rodri down the right, checks back in field, finds Pedri, and now Laporte as Italy drop very deep once again. Busquets has space to bring the ball forward, and he finds Rodri to his right, and now Llorente on the edge of the penalty area, back towards Rodri, and Rodri has worked the opening for Llorente, low cross into the 6-yard area, cleared as far as Gerard Moreno, but Chiellini was there with a crucial boot for Italy, and they will clear.
Yeah, I think it's Chiesa there. Chiesa was in the left back slot, and he was limping, and his body language says, please don't play it behind me, I can't move. And when it was played, he just collapsed to the floor with cramp.
Well, that is half-time in extra time. Spain, undoubtedly the better side in the last 15 minutes or so, but at the moment, there is no way through for them, and we are 15 minutes away from a penalty shootout. Yep, and it's Thiago Alcantara who is coming on for Sergio Busquets. So we now have Liverpool involvement in this semi-final. And Thiago, the player who had his early progress at Anfield, really wrecked by that injury in the Merseyside derby, but towards the end of the season he was a very important player for Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool closed in and eventually clinched a Champions League place. And he's been a winner at Wembley before with Barcelona in the Champions League final a decade ago. And a great moment. In the heat of battle, Luis Enrique, the Spanish coach, has just been sharing a joke with Federico Chiesa, the Italian goal scorer. But Italy are about to make the change. They're permitted during extra time. And it's Federico Bernardeschi of Juventus who will be coming on. And Roberto Mancini is going through all of his cards here. Of course, he has mixed memories of Wembley. He won the FA Cup here with Manchester City back in 2011 to really kickstart their dominant period of success in English football. And of course he lost the cup final here to Wigan 2 years later, and he was sacked 2 days later. Italy in all blue, defending the goal away to our left-hand side here. The western end at Wembley, which is heavily populated by Spanish fans, in a wonderful crowd of nearly 58,000. And there will be even more here tomorrow to watch England against Denmark live on TalkSport. As Olmo comes forward, another penetrating run from him, and he was chopped down by Locatelli. And it will be a free kick to Spain as they search for the winning goal. But before the free kick, Italy have been given the opportunity to make their change, and it's Bernardeschi who comes on to replace their goal scorer, Federico Chiesa.
Yeah, I think the onset of cramp and fatigue there. We've just seen Chiesa off.
Well, Chiesa could well have been the match winner here, but Italy now find themselves in a real scrap in the second period of extra time. We are 14 minutes away from penalties on TalkSport. 1-1 at Wembley in the first semi-final of Euro 2020. And Thiago is over the free kick. And Thiago whips it in. It's deflected off Berardi, which rather takes the sting off it, and it's gathered by Donnarumma.
Well, I can honestly say a ridiculous free kick from that distance. I don't know what he was attempting. Should have been curling it in, just trying to dip it inside the far post. He's seen the goalkeeper advance and decided to take on the near post at probably 45 yards.
Now Berardi for Italy on the near side, has Toloi steaming forward on the overlap, but it's a low ball looking for Bernardeschi, but nobody seemed to quite have the necessary coordination on the edge of the penalty area from either side. Bodies all over the place, and eventually Spain scramble it clear, and there is a Spanish player, Eric Garcia, who is down with cramp.
Yeah, it was the wrong pass. He's picked the wrong pass out. It's come out to him on the width, and he's driven in with the ball, and you've just got to slow down and pick up the underlapping run. In the end, he's gone for glory, sort of through the middle. And then it was, well, I think all bases were covered as such. Good retreat in defence from the Spaniards.
And it was Laporte again to just slide in and find his goalkeeper, and Aymeric Laporte has been outstanding for Spain here this evening. Eric Garcia is back on his feet, but he'll need to just head off before he can come back on. Luis Enrique gesticulating inside the Spanish technical area. He won his first game as Spanish coach here in the Nations League back in 2018. Only 3 members of the Spanish squad, De Gea, Busquets and Thiago, were involved that evening as Eric Garcia is taken off, and it's Pau Torres of Villarreal, the player who comes on to replace him. So Spain have gone back to the defensive combination which they had for the quarter-final victory against Switzerland. They won that on penalties, but no side has ever won 2 shootouts in a single Euro competition. Spain may have to try and make history to head into Sunday's final here. Berardi inside the penalty area now for Italy, dancing his way through, and the left-footed curler is blocked on the edge of the 6-yard area. Quickly recovered by Di Lorenzo. Now a high early ball forward, looking for Berardi again, who is onside, and Berardi is offside. The flag is eventually raised as he planted the ball into the back of the net, and Spain can breathe again.
Well, once again, the linesman clearly offside, 2 yards, but the new laws of the game suggest you've got to play on, or sort of play on anyway, and it gets the crowd off their seats and plonks them back down again very quickly.
But I have to say, Stuart, Unai Simon didn't know he was offside, and he sold himself again.
Yeah, he had no chance of and it was a good finish. I've got to say it was a very good finish as well. Called it on the half volley, but certainly goalkeeper nowhere near it.
08717 223344 to call the Sports Bar with Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy at the end of this game, which could yet end in a penalty shootout. 111 minutes played here at Wembley. 1-1 between Italy and Spain in what has been a tumultuous semi-final here. England against Denmark coming up tomorrow. The build-up all day on TalkSport, starting with Laura Woods and the breakfast team at 6 a.m. And Hawksbee and Jacobs and Drive with Adrian Durham will be live from Wembley Way later on in the afternoon as Rodri comes forward here for Spain. Now Thiago just looking to keep things ticking over. Jordi Alba short to Rodri and back towards Pau Torres. Challenge from Chiellini on Olmo was a good one, and now there is a Spanish player down, clutching his ankle on the halfway line. It's Belotti, the player who has been penalised, and Jordi Alba is absolutely adamant that Belotti cleaned him out, and looking at the replay, I'm not too sure he did.
Alba's been down a couple of times now very cheaply, and there's no saying about crying wolf.
But he does get the free kick, and here is Laporte for Spain. 8 minutes to play. 1-1 here at Wembley on TalkSport. We have brought you every single game across the TalkSport network from UEFA Euro 2020, and this has been up there with the very best. Berardi given the room to turn, 15 yards inside the Spanish half, but it's Jordi Alba who gets back to make a fine challenge, and here is Unai Simon, their goalkeeper, away to our right hand side.
The Spanish leaving the odd gap, aren't they? They're trying with their endeavour to try and win the game normally. They're pushing on and leaving the odd gap for the counter-attack, but the Italians haven't got that athleticism and that swiftness that they showed at the start of the game.
Now Thiago looking to launch an audacious ball forward from the halfway line, and Jordi Alba was the target, but it was about 40 yards beyond him, and it's gathered by Donnarumma. Here is Toloi for Italy. Almost a hush now off the field as both sets of supporters get themselves ready for the potential of a penalty shootout as Belotti is flagged offside just inside the Spanish half. And it's now played long by Laporte again, and Spain continue to look the more likely side to score a winning goal, but it's often at times like that that Italy can appear to be very dangerous themselves. Thiago wearing number 10 for Spain, infield to Rodri. So much Premier League influence in this Spanish side now. Pau Torres, he's laid wide by Morata into the path of Jordi Alba, who is wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Busquets. Olmo infield onto his right foot to find Rodri. Italy in full retreat once again. Here is Laporte wide to the far side, and Gerard Moreno tries to pick out the reverse ball for Llorente, and now Italy have won it, and Italy can break, but Belotti unable to find Berardi, who would have been clean through. Now a back heel from Olmo, releasing Morata on the edge of the penalty area. On this near side, Morata's cross though is blocked by Bonucci, and it will be a throw-in to Spain on this near side. Taken short by Morata. Here is Olmo. Back to Morata again at walking pace. Looks to work the angle for either the shot or the cross. Morata continues, then gives it straight to Belotti, but Belotti is challenged by Llorente, and Spain still have possession here in a dangerous area. Gerard Moreno wide on the right hand side, infield towards Pedri. Back to Gerard Moreno again, high cross in beyond Morata, whose shoulders slump as the ball comes in, and it's gathered by Donnarumma.
Well, that last attack by the Italians was a really gilt-edged one. It just needed a pass anywhere in the opposition's half and you're in on the goalkeeper, and it was just cut out by a flailing ankle.
5 minutes to go at Wembley. Italy 1, Spain 1. At the moment, it looks like penalties. Chiellini with a high ball forward for Italy. And Belotti again is offside. How many times has he been offside?
Well, he's threatening him behind time and time and time again. Some he gets right, some he gets wrong. I've got to say, vast majority he's probably got wrong.
Now Thiago for Spain on the halfway line. Step over before he finds Rodri. But Italy here very content for Spain to have the ball in these sort of areas. Now Thiago goes long, looking for the pace over the top of Olmo, but Olmo, in fact it was Llorente who was unable to win it. Then he booms the ball into the Spanish fans behind that goal. The Finnish British is not interested in any retribution, and it will be a goal kick for Italy.
Thiago just not got his passing range at the moment, just overwritten everything.
Donnarumma clears long downfield again. And it's controlled by Belotti on the halfway line, but he then loses out to Thiago. Rodri looking for Morata, but it's quickly cut out by Toloi. And Berardi ensuring that Italy do have some sort of possession inside Spanish territory. Wins a throw-in off Jordi Alba on this near side. And those Spanish fans away to our right have had a fairly long-range view of the game for much of extra time, because their team have offered very little going forward, and we now have only 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, 3 very crucial minutes. Psychology of the players really important now. Make sure you concentrate, see the game out, no mistakes.
Spain have another free kick conceded for a challenge on Morata, and it's Bonucci who receives the yellow card.
Yeah, I think the referee has almost got a thankless task in the game today, hasn't he? You know, he's done very well keeping his cards in his pocket for the majority of the game. Could be comfortably a game, Nigel. You could send a lot of players off, couldn't it? For play acting and one or two other things.
Unai Simon plays it wide to the far side. Can either side create a chance to win this game in the final 2 minutes? Now Torres looks to find his clubmate Gerard Moreno, and he does so down the right hand side. Now Llorente infield to Rodri, and Spain taking patience to an obsession in the 119th minute. Here is an opportunity now, but the clearance is quickly made by Locatelli. Italy more pragmatic in that sort of situation, but Spain do have a throw-in on this near side, and a goal now, and that surely is that for either side.
It would, and I think we've had to wait for the best part of 2 hours to see Pedri give the ball away for the first time.
Yes, for 18 he looks some player, doesn't he?
He does, absolutely fantastic.
Spain have a throw-in on this near side. Jordi Alba will take it, and there is tension all around Wembley. Morata hooks the ball across the face of the penalty area. One well in the air by Gerard Moreno, but Thiago's ball forward again, looking for Llorente, is woefully overhit, and his passing radar has been wayward, to say the very least, so far.
I think it's not worth me trying to put into words how bad that pass was. Enrique's face said it all. He really has been average since he's come on, hasn't he, Thiago? He just can't find a pass at present. Anything over 10 yards has gone astray.
Spain beat Italy on penalties following a goalless draw back in 2008. And they will hope that history may be about to repeat itself here. And We are heading towards the final 5 seconds of extra time, but there is still time for Belotti to come forward. But that is it. And the first semi-final of UEFA Euro 2020 will be decided by a penalty shootout. It is finished. Italy 1, Spain 1. Locatelli will take the first penalty for Italy against Unai Simon, who is jogging up and down on his goal line. Locatelli will step up, right-footed, saved! Brilliantly saved by Unai Simon. There was plenty of movement from him before that. The referee is just checking with VAR. But Simon strikes again, and Spain have the opportunity to take the lead in the shootout.
Well, if that's legal, that is a fantastic stop. Really low, right down to his right-hand side, the goalkeeper got down, good strong wrist to parry out. You can't knock the penalty, it was a decent penalty. Dani Olmo, who scored in the shootout against Switzerland, will take the first penalty for Spain, up against Gianluigi Donnarumma. Olmo will hit this, right-footed, and it's over the bar! Terrible penalty from Dani Olmo. He missed by absolutely miles, and Italy have an early reprieve. Well, he gave that some. He's whipped it right-footed across his body, but it was so high and so wide, it was incredible. Really high. It just set sail, and it must have finished halfway up the stand. Second penalty for Italy. I think this is going to be drama to the end, Nige, this one. Will anyone score? Belotti will take the penalty, long run up. Once again, Unai Simon is providing his antics on the goal line. Belotti makes no mistake, drives it hard, right-footed low to the goalkeeper's right-hand side, and Italy lead 1-0 in the shootout. Well, put it exactly the same corner, but my goodness me, he put some venom on that one, drilled it across his body. Goalkeeper went the right way, no chance of getting on the end of it. Gerard Moreno scored against Switzerland in the shootout. He was also involved in that marathon to end the Europa League final for Villarreal against Manchester United. Gerard Moreno steps up, left-footed, delays, and then it's high into the net over the dive of Donnarumma. And it's 1-1 after 2 rounds of penalties. Yeah, Donnarumma going the right way there. But he's just lifted it up into the top half of the goal, beat the lunging dive. Stepping up third for Italy, Leonardo Bonucci. Over 100 caps. Unai Simon looking to provide some kidology, but I'm sure Bonucci has seen all of this before. One of the elder statesmen, Bonucci, right-footed, makes no mistake. Simon flew across to the wrong way, and Italy now have 2 out of 3. Well, it's Thiago stepping up now, and I can quite honestly say he didn't do a great deal right when he come on the pitch. I hope he gets this pass right. If he puts as much pace on it, Nige, as some of the forward passing, he should be okay. Well, Thiago Alcantara, you would imagine, would be the man to provide the experience in this sort of situation, but shootouts can do funny things. Short run-up, right-footed, Thiago, very, very calmly rolled the ball into the bottom left-hand corner, and the parity is maintained. 2-2. Yeah, opened his body out, run at it, 45-degree angle, and just as he got to the ball, committed the goalkeeper, closed the body up, and just pulled it into the left-hand corner as we look at the goal. Good penalty. Federico Bernardeschi came on late in extra time, maybe for this moment. The Juventus midfielder. Bernardeschi against Unai Simon.
Bernardeschi left-footed, very good penalty, high into the back of the net. Unai Simon gets right but had no chance, and Italy continue to find a way.
Absolutely outstanding penalty there. Just looking at the camera angle behind the goal, he's just whipped it across his body, left-footed, top corner, unstoppable.
Now Alvaro Morata of Juventus scored the equaliser in normal time. A player so familiar with Italian football. Morata, saved by Donnarumma. Very poor penalty by Alvaro Morata. Donnarumma barely had to dive, and Italy are moving closer towards the final.
Well, Morata just opened his body up there, right-footed, side foot. The goalkeeper got down, really good height for him. 2 previous penalties in the top corner. That one low to his left, a good wrist, and kept it out. The Italians in pole position now.
This is it. If this goes in, Italy are in the final. And it's a penalty expert who will take it, Jorginho. 7 penalties for Chelsea in the Premier League last season. He was their top goal scorer. Jorginho can send Italy into the final. Unai Simon waits for Spain. Jorginho right-footed. Oh, audaciously done! And Jorginho has done it for Italy. Calmly rolls in the penalty.